Thank you for joining us. My name is Judy Peterson, and I will be guiding you through our online TAP system. Today we will add an owner certificate to a transaction. In this example, the lender certificate has already been issued. On the lender certificate overview screen, the action steps now available are amend and add a certificate. Click on Add Certificate, Owner Certificate, which opens up the screens needed in order for us to issue this owner certificate. Each of these screens is designated with a red X. When a screen has been completed, the X will change to a green check mark. We'll begin with the property screen. In most situations, the property record will not differ from the lender certificate coverage, but edits are available. If no changes are needed, click on Save Changes. Once all of the fields have been completed and saved, a message lets you know that you can move on to the next screen, and the current screen is now marked with a green check mark. Next, we'll work on the General Information screen. Information has pulled in from the Lender First certificate, so no changes will be needed in the upper portion of this screen. When issuing an owner certificate as a standalone transaction without commitment or lender certificate, you'll need to complete the fields above as described in the lender certificate instructions. We have the option to include a cover letter to the buyers explaining the coverage they're being provided, and we recommend that the letter be printed if the buyers will use this property as their primary residence. To create the letter, click on Yes, and then copy from title holders to insert their names into the cover letter. To print a mailing sheet with the certificate, click the box and copy from title holders and property address to insert this information into the fields. Then click on Save Changes. Once all the fields have been completed, the General Information screen is marked with a green check mark, and we can move on to the coverage screen. Type the loan number if you know it. If on the commitment the owner coverage was pre-selected, the coverage amount for owner has pulled in from the commitment. If owner coverage was not designated on the commitment, you'll enter the coverage amount here. Remember that the owner coverage amount is the purchase price or appraised value of the property. The buyers will have completed the composite mortgage affidavit indicating their desire for owner coverage, the coverage amount, and affirming that they will use the property as their primary residence. Check this box if they are eligible for free coverage, which changes the total amount due to 0. The certification date and time have pulled in from the lender certificate. If this is a standalone owner certificate, enter the date and time of abstract certification as it appears on the final title opinion. Then click on Save Changes. Once all the fields have been completed, the coverage screen turns to green, and we're ready to move on to the endorsement screen. Endorsements selected on the commitment have pre-filled. All endorsements available for this coverage are listed, and additional endorsements can be selected. Let's select one here, and then Save Changes. If you select an endorsement by mistake, you can always remove it using the trash can. Endorsements which do not require any edits will appear with a green check mark, and if edits are needed, then click on Edit and fill in the necessary information. Most owner certificates do not contain any endorsements, so we can simply save changes. And once saved, this screen will be designated with a green check mark, and we can move on to Schedule B. The owner certificate Schedule B contains standard exceptions which cannot be edited or removed, and special exceptions. The special exceptions have pulled in from the lender certificate Schedule B, and the buyer's new mortgage has been added as the last numbered paragraph in this section. In most cases, you won't need to add any other exceptions. The additional Schedule B options are available if you need help with the wording of an exception, and these have been divided into the section in which each would appear. If this is a standalone owner certificate, be sure to add all of the exceptions noted on the preliminary and final title opinion. Once Schedule B has been completed, click on Save Changes. All of the screens now appear with a green check mark, and we can review the owner certificate by going back to the owner certificate overview screen. The certificate is now ready to be reviewed and issued. The status is pending. The action steps appear across the top: issue, cancel, preview. If you have a question for our underwriters, you can send it to underwriting, where you'll be asked to provide a note explaining what you need. If you have a non-legal question, such as, how do I word this exception? Or if you want our staff to review the certificate before it's issued, you can send it to audit. Again, you'll be asked to add a note explaining what you need. If at this point you realize that you need to add another certificate, for example, the junior certificate, you can do it here. We recommend that you preview the certificate before it's issued by clicking on Preview. The certificate will then appear with a draft watermark. And following your review, click on Issue. Once issued, the certificate will print without the draft watermark and will be ready to send to the title holders and/or to the lender. To print the issued certificate, go to the Archives and Snapshot screen. This screen is divided into active and archived documents. The most current version of each document is located in the active section. So here you'll see the lender certificate, the owner certificate, and the latest version of the transaction statement. To print an issued certificate or statement individually, just click on the title. To save or print or download multiple documents, you can select whichever ones you need and click on Download Selected, where you'll be able to save or open them into a zip file. And this is a handy way to forward them on to your lender. Changes can be made at any time by going back to the overview screen, where now our action steps are amend and add another certificate. And if you click on amend, it puts the certificate back into pending status, and changes can be made to any of the fields. If you amend, the Schedule B must be reviewed and saved again before the certificate can be reissued.